use it in my life. No, I'm doing this for a reason, because this is what I want to do. Obviously, it's a professional sport, and I mean, in my opinion, I couldn't just turn around and go, hey, I want to be a footballer, I'm going to start training, and then I'm going to be a footballer. I wouldn't say the same with most other sports. So the idea that I believe that I can do that with MMA is, to a certain extent, in my own, objectively, in my own mind, it's somewhat delusional. To a degree. So that's kind of what this is. It is getting fit. It is preparing to see if I possibly can. It's also a bit of a test. To see if I actually can go and do this for a living. Am I physically able to do it? Not just like right now, but I mean in general. Some people just aren't built to be pro athletes. Like that, they're not. If you ask me, I'm not someone that's built to be a pro athlete. I've never been extremely fit in my life. I've never been the strongest guy in the room. I've never been the fastest guy in the room. I've never had the best stamina out of everyone in the room. There is nothing that sticks me out from the rest of the crowd that makes me any better than anyone else to do with sport. Whether it be mentally, physically, no matter what it is. I don't have it. And I'm not crazy for saying I don't have it. I'm also not crazy for saying, oh, I think I could do this or could do that. I'm just saying I'm out here testing myself to see if I can. I'm not going to rule anything out straight away. I'm sure whilst I'm out here, I'm probably going to try and aim to get at least 1 or 2 fights in. Because by the time I would have been here for 4 months in total in the end. And I would be disappointed if I hadn't done any kind of fight. So yeah, that is one aim to do. But I'm also going to be coming back to the UK and then still continue training and fighting. But I mean, I've gone on a little bit of a rant here. Again, these videos always seem to turn into one of these. It's probably because I don't speak to people that often. So when I'm speaking in here, it kind of just all spills out. But my main points here are really just that although I'm only kind of like a quarter of the way through my time out here, I guess. When I say out here, I mean traveling in general. I've been doing it for like a month and a half now, and if that was a quarter, then 3 months, 6 months, maybe a quarter, maybe under a quarter. I'm probably going to be traveling for about 6 to 8 months. Hopefully, we'll see how far we can push it. Obviously, we're going to have to still keep some money for when I get back home. Budgeting. There's a lot of that, to be fair, which is not very exciting, I have to admit. But yeah. So there's although I'm not up to much, there's still a fair bit on my mind of what I'm planning, what I'm thinking. The issue is with me is I'm a very indecisive person. If I'm thinking about it on the long run. In the long run, there's so many variables to everything that my decisions and my thoughts and my ideas and my plans change so erratically and so often that it's hard for me to even remember what I've changed and what I haven't changed my idea of. So it's hard to do without, like, I want to say help, but it's not really help, because when you just add someone else into that situation, it just makes it even more complicated, because the likelihood is they think of something you haven't thought of, and then it's just another variable that's helpful, but you didn't really need. So no, so it's not help I need. It's just it's a clear path I need, one that isn't so one that doesn't have so many variables. But I'm debating things here and there, and as time goes, they change. When I first got here, I thought, oh, I love it out here so much, why don't I spend all my time out here? Now I've been out here for a month and a half, I still think I love it, but at the same time, I would like to do at least one other thing or two other things whilst I'm travelling. But I've been thinking to myself that I may even come back here. So after I've been to somewhere else, I may even come back and think, hey, you know what, I enjoyed it so much and I enjoyed the training so much, let's go back there again. But I still haven't decided on any of that yet, because there are a few places I do really want to go. But, nevertheless, I am 30 seconds away from this video cutting out on me. So, that's about it. No idea what part of that ramble I left open-ended and what got, concluded. Most of that was probably a ramble that was inconclusive in every part of it. But, hey-ho, that's what happens. That's what I do a lot. And now it is your job to watch this video and feedback to me and tell me what the fuck I'm on about. because it would be helpful if someone knew. Anyway, no, nice one, guys. Okay, so I'm back. I wasn't going to do another video today, but training went so well and I have a few things just to speak out into the universe. So I'm going to do that now. So training today was really good. I felt really, relaxed, which I think was the main thing that I was really noticing, that I was just more relaxed. I wasn't as jittery, because when you you can really tell when you're relaxed and working out and when you're not, because you can do 5 minutes of working out when your anxiety is kind of high. Not necessarily anxiety is in the way I talk about it, as in when you have anxiety and the anxiety. But I mean when you just generally have levels of anxiety that anyone has. If you're let's, obviously this isn't an actual fight, but I mean when you're in a fight, you have levels of anxiety and nervousness and twitching almost that your body just does naturally. And when that is happening, because you know you're in some sort of danger and your body's just on edge, you can do 5 minutes of working out at a moderate pace and it'll feel like you've done 20 minutes, and afterwards you'll feel like you're about to be sick and all of that kind of stuff. It's mainly not because you've actually done so much work that you're about to be sick. It's kind of just the nerves and anxiety about it. I've kind of realised that recently, because I've worked out before to the point of where I need to throw up, and that's very different from working out not to the point where I need to throw up, but to the point where my nerves got me to the point where I felt like I was going to throw up. Not it's a bit like how I talk about anxiety in general. It's kind of like an out of body thing. You're okay, you're not in any danger, but your mind doesn't let you believe that because it's being careful. It's being careful, it knows there could still be some danger coming, so you're still a little bit nervous, you're still a bit on edge, because you're trying to force that to stop, it makes you feel a bit sick. But ignoring that little ramble, today was really good. I felt really, to be fair, the guy that I always like to do a bit of sparring with from America, from LA, he wasn't that well today. He said he felt a bit ill. So to be fair, sparring with him was quite calm and relaxed anyway. But then I did some sparring with some other guy from, South UK. And he was a little bit shorter than me, but he was a lot more built than me, in a fair bit better shape than me. And I feel like I pretty much outboxed him, outkicked him, out Muay Thai'd him, out kickboxed him. So that was good. That was a little bit of a confidence boost. And then onto the last guy who's from Holland and had done kickboxing before and was my height but skinnier than me. And he's a lot faster, to be fair. He kept on catching my kicks and returning them, which I find it difficult to do because I feel like I just can't move fast enough to catch and return before they can do anything. But in general, today went really well. It was good. I think the 2 days off this weekend to help my foot sort itself out, was really good. Now, onto feet. So I taped up both of my feet before I went. My left foot, which is the one that I didn't really need to tape on as much, as soon as I got there, it was so loose on my foot, because I thought it was really tight before I'd left. So I cut it, and then almost patched it together with more tape, so it was just a little bit wider. So I cut it, and then the two parts were slightly further apart, and then I taped over the top of them. And I thought, oh, that'll be fine. No, it wasn't. I got there, and that tape was, it was fucking horrible, man. It was loose, it was coming on and off, it was like a sock. So I just had to take that off completely. And then my other one, which is this one, you'll see the difference, yeah, okay? Just between one session, and it's purely just the floor. So, this side is the side that's on top, obviously facing the sky. That's the bottom. That's what it looks like when it's clean. There's some hairs that's ripped off my foot. But look at the difference, man. And that's from just today. I've not had this on for any longer than today, as in this morning kind of today. I don't know what that mark is. It looks like it's a dampness. I'm just hoping it's water and not some random crap that's leaking out of my goddamn foot. Would be on this side though, wouldn't it? Yeah. So as you can see, this morning I ended up having to. I didn't realise, but last night my foot was really itchy, and I was itching it with my other foot. What I didn't realise was my foot was itchy because all that old skin that was on top had dried up to the point where it was just becoming uncomfortable. So now I've got a crater in the middle of my foot with some slightly raw skin underneath. We love to see it. Ouch. But this may not look good. Trust me, compared to everything else that's been happening recently, this is good because I've just come back from training. So this is the worst it's going to look, at any point, because it's just after training.
and this is when it would normally be all puffy and another blister would be forming, but there's not another blister forming, so oh no, just close that. I didn't mean to close that. Keep that open. So all good news on the feet front. I am going to continue to just, what I'm going to do is, because normally what I do is I tape them up and I kind of leave them like that, either for the day or up until training and then take them off after, or I put them on before training and then leave them on that night, just so it stays compressed. So if at any point a blister does start to form, it has that kind of compression on it that's kind of saying, no, don't form, please. No, what I'm going to do from now on is I'm just going to tape up before and then untape them afterwards. Just because they get so messy, so dirty, it'll help with like making sure I don't get an infection. And then just also, like, I mean, it's just, it's a lot of effort to walk around on and stuff like that, and it's always a pain in the arse when it comes off a little bit. So, hopefully, this 50,000th technique of strapping up my feet will now work, because I don't see anything that could go wrong other than it being too tight and my toes falling off mid-practice. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But that's about it. Really good session today. One other thing that I found quite funny was today, just because, I mean, I've got a few minutes to fill up here, was I was doing, both of the guys that I was sparring with, the second guy and the third guy, not the guy that I normally do it with, who was a bit ill. But, I don't know if I was doing it good or not. But what kept happening was, whenever they went for a kick, I'd seem to bring up the same leg. So if they were going from their back foot, trying to kick me from their back foot, then I'd lift up my back foot and bring it across as well. And I happened to notice that it kind of just voided every single kick or anything that they threw, because it just jumbled up the area you're aiming to throw kicks at. I just lift my front knee up when you're going to kick my front leg. You can no longer now kick my leg, because it's just going to be soft and it's not really going to affect me that much. You can kick it, but it's not going to hurt me as if I was putting my weight on it. So you can kick my calf, you can kick my leg, that's fine. My knee's up there in front, and then it's in the way of my other leg now. And then also, if I'm doing it high enough, it's kind of in the way of a body kick or something like that. So I don't know if my natural reaction is just starting to adapt a little bit more to Muay Thai, which would be a godsend, because when that starts to happen and you start to just naturally react the way you're supposed to defend, like technically, that's when you can really start to relax and have fun with it. I find, at least anyway, because that's when you can kind of like, you're there, you know you're safe, you're just copying, and then you do your thing. And then you're copying, you feel safe, you know you're safe. Just like, it's weird. It's like they're trying to go from point A to point B. And when you're defending, most of the time you're taught to just stop them in between point A and point B. But I've started to notice, if I just go for the same thing, so if they're going from point A here to point B over there, and they're going bang, if I just go, and so it's going to be coming across me this way, if I just do the same thing, we're just going to clash midair and no one's getting hurt. So all that means to me then is I've got to have enough stamina to do exactly what they're doing, and then a few extra pieces of my own. And then that means if it's being scored on points, I'm winning because I'm doing the same as them and then more. And then if it's being scored on damage, I win because I'm doing the same as them and then more. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just had a bit of a good day, a bit too much of a good day, and it's going into my head a little bit. And now I think I'm some 50-year in the game practice coach. But no. But I'm enjoying it. I feel like I'm picking more and more up the more I'm going. And also I feel like I'm getting calmer in there. I'm not as stressed. I'm not as, my anxiety isn't as up. Like, cause like when you're doing it, you're always going to have anxiety thinking like, oh shit, punch is going to come from this way, from this side. And when you're doing all this little twitching and hands are moving forwards and back, you don't realize how much energy you waste by doing that. And I think it's kind of a mental thing. Even if your arms aren't yet tired, you've just been moving and twitching so much, you feel tired. So no, today was really, really good. Really good. Other than that, that's about it. This is going to be on the part 2 of Monday's vlog. It's going to be attached to the other one. So, Monday has been a good day. Tuesday will be a better day. Peace.